Well, day one of the championships at the All England Lawn Tennis Club. Josh Gabelich is our man on the ground for the first serve. Josh, good morning to you over there in the UK. And the most important question I've got to ask you is the weather and how it's going to hold up for day one.
Oh, Brett, everyone's keeping their fingers crossed. I've just walked around the grounds only briefly. The covers are off some of the courts. Some of the courts have got those air dryers on. They've got people out there brushing the courts. So fingers crossed. It's only sprinkling at the moment, but rain is forecast across the day and across the first week. So we could be in for a bit of a wet first week of Wimbledon, which is a bit unfortunate because the weather's been great in the previous month, but who knows? You just hope the weather gods can come good with the goods.
Give us a feel of the vibe, Josh. What sort of crowds do you expect today? What's just the feeling when you're sort of walking in and around the precinct since you've been there so far this morning?
So the traditional queue is not part of the tournament this year, given social distancing and the world that we currently live in. But tickets went on sale only last week. So really last minute, given the government guidelines around how many people could attend. There's going to be 50% capacity across this first week. We're building up to a full 100% capacity for the final weekend and 15,000 centre court in that final. So it's a pretty good outcome because it was only a month ago they were really talking about 25% and being pretty bullish on that. Now they've got 50% from day one. So it's a pretty exciting feel. There's not too many people out here just yet, but they're very confident they'll have a very decent crowd no matter what the conditions are.
Indeed. 5 Australians on day one. The Warrior, John Millman's going to kick it off, and we're going to be with you on the first serve, of course, coming up, our live radio show tonight, which people can listen into. He's up against Roberto Bautista Agut. It's 5-0 for the Spaniard, so it's a fairly daunting task. The last time he was here, he made a semi-final against Novak Djokovic. So tough one for Millman, but one thing guaranteed, Johnny will give it one hell of a shot.
Yeah, you're spot on. We know what we're going to get from John, and he was really disappointed to have to pull out of Roland Garros in the morning of his opening round match. So he's here. He's not as prepared as he'd like to be given the injury setback he had only two or 3 weeks ago now, given the short turnaround between those two Grand Slams. But we know we're going to get a really dogged effort against, to be honest, one of the best players in the world. Roberto Bautista Agut has been around for a long time now. And as you mentioned, that 5-0 record is in the Spaniards' favour. All
right, Sebastian Korda, Alex de Minaur, can't wait for that. That's going to be matchstick eyes early hours of the morning here in Australia. Fascinating to see how the Demon comes up, and Seb Korda. I'll tell you what, the Kordas are going beautifully in golf. He hopefully doesn't replicate it in tennis against our very own Alex. Josh, we're going to check in with you as part of our first serve radio show tonight, and a big 2 weeks ahead. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure, Brett. Look forward to talking to you later on.